Welcome guys to another ranking video. This is going to be in voiceover format, and this is a ranking for the now 8 film Leprechaun series. Now the Leprechaun series, as I have said once before, these movies are not meant to be taken seriously. These movies are meant to have fun with and just laugh at. But if you are looking for a straight up horror film, then you're not going to really like these films that much. But there's been 8 films released. The original Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4 in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, Leprechaun Origins, and most recently, Leprechaun Returns. So I'm going to rank all 8 films from the worst one to the best one. And this is my ranking, so if you disagree, feel free to comment your ranking without any of the hatred. Other than that, let's get started. At number 8 is Leprechaun 4 in Space. This is the worst excuse for a Leprechaun movie. What happens when you take a classic horror killer and put him into outer space? The results cannot be very good. At least with Alien and the Xenomorph, that has a purpose. Jason X, they took Jason into space, but I did like Jason X as a guilty pleasure. This, on the other hand, while being guilty pleasure watchable, it is just the worst Leprechaun film for me. Aside from Warwick Davis, Miguel Nunez, and some of the actors, this was just a mess, and nothing interesting really happens, except for the end. Number 7 is Leprechaun 2 Back to the Hood. Leprechaun Back to the Hood. This is the 6th movie, and this was the anniversary of the Leprechaun franchise, and this easily is a good way to send off Warwick Davis, but at the end of the day, I just feel like Warwick Davis should have came back for the new film, but it's not a bad way for him to retire as the character, and he does have a lot of funny moments. I do like they went to the hood again, even though you could have went into a different direction, because what works the first time usually doesn't really work the second time with sequels or movies like this. And I do like the cast here. I do like the music. Sticky Fingers, he is over the top. And yes, there is the use of a certain curse word that I'm not really a fan of, but it takes place in the hood, so I can get used to it. It does have the usual problems, but it is a better film than Leprechaun 4 in Space. Number 6 is Leprechaun Origins. So let me get this straight. You make a movie that is just as worse as Leprechaun 4 in Space. And I mean it when I say it. And not only that, you reboot it without Warwick Davis and replace him with Hornswoggle. And Hornswoggle is not even. The Leprechaun's barely in this movie. Therefore, it makes this film boring. It's slow paced. No kills until they get to the good kills. You do have some decent acting from the cast members, including the 2 cast members from Freddy vs. Jason who are in here. But at the end of the day, Leprechaun Origins, this was not a good way to bring back the Leprechaun. I felt like it should have been Warwick Davis, and I felt like the Leprechaun should have been in this movie a way more than he was. Because the sad part is, the Leprechaun is just wasted here, and Leprechaun Origins should have been called Leprechaun Boring Origins. Coming to number 5 is Leprechaun 2. This one, Leprechaun's trying to find a bride, and I have to be honest, this one is one of the weaker ones, but I do like this one too. I like the fact that he's trying to find a wife, and he comes back thousands of years to claim a wife. Warwick Davis is just eating up the dialogue. That's not very, not, it may not be well written, but He's just hamming it up. He's doing a good job. I do like the one playing Charlie, and I do like the one who plays the bride, the leprechaun trying kidnaps, who is basically the main character, Charlie's love interest. I do like some of the choices that they try to do here, but the uncle was a drunk, and I didn't really like him. He got on my nerves, and there are some things here that does make it a home watchable film. Number four is Warwick Davis, Leprechaun in the Hood. This is Leprechaun in the Hood. This is the first attempt of making a Leprechaun movie in the Hood, and I will say is the better attempt than Back to the Hood. I do like Ice-T in here. I do like Warwick Davis. I really like the story, the idea of taking Leprechaun in the Hood, taking it in a different direction is pretty cool. I like seeing that. I like the three guys who's trying to get a record deal. I do like some aspects here, but again, as with all the other ones, it does go into that cliche of not trying to take it too seriously. It does have the use of the N word again, and I do like the part where the leprechaun is rapping, and the leprechaun just does what he does. He kills, he talks mess, he does what he's supposed to do. And I just honestly think it's a pretty enjoyable film. And so, it's a fun, guilty pleasure. Now, coming in third place is the latest film, Leprechaun Returns. This is a direct sequel to the first one. I have to say, despite the fact it doesn't have Warwick Davis and it does, there's one girl in this movie that does get on my nerves. I will say that Leprechaun Returns is a pretty fun, entertaining movie. It's a nice return to form for the Leprechaun. It's the Leprechaun back to his former roots, and I can't really complain too much. And you do have the one of the characters from the original back. And so you do have Tori back, but it's not Jennifer Aniston. And like I said, Jennifer Aniston, she is not hates the first Leprechaun film, and she didn't think it was a very good debut for her. But Leprechaun Returns is a pretty fun, enjoyable guilty pleasure, and to me, I really love Leprechaun Origins for going back to basics, taking the Leprechaun back to his former roots. Coming to number two is Leprechaun 3. And Leprechaun goes to Vegas in this one. And I I don't know what it is about Leprechaun 3. Maybe it's because the setting is in Las Vegas. But I just have a ball with this. I enjoy it. It does have its flaws as usual as the other films in this ranking. But I will say that Leprechaun 2 does have its fun moments. It has its enjoyable moments. I really like the cast here. I love John Gatton's here. I think the character Tammy, she was pretty cool for her screen time, and she plays another main character. Some of the other characters in here I didn't really care for. I didn't really care for the one girl who wants to be beautiful again. I didn't really care for the character of Mitch, and I didn't really care for the character of the magician who is competing with Tammy, who wants to be the greatest magician in the world. But Leprechaun 3 was pretty fun, and I enjoyed it. And number one is easily the original Leprechaun. This is the best Leprechaun film for me. Does it have issues? Like I said with the other ones, yes. But I do enjoy this first Leprechaun film. I enjoyed the entire series. Now, you can say, I don't know, Joshua, I don't know, what do you see in these movies? They're bad. Yes, they're bad, but the Leprechaun films, they're fun to watch. They're sort of guilty pleasures. And you gotta have guilty pleasures. But I enjoy it for not being a straight up horror film, being a horror comedy, for having some jokes. And you do have the one joke one liner I really like. is basically where they call him the Lucky Charms and then they kick him to the curb. Jennifer Aniston, the little boy, the boyfriend that Tori is trying to go out with, and her dad. I really like the setup here. And Leprechaun, the first film, just a very entertaining film. Warwick Davis, this is the best performance of him besides Leprechaun 3. So that was my ranking of the Leprechaun films from the worst to the best in the voiceover format. So like I said, most of these rankings will be in voiceover format. Most of these top 10s will be in voiceover format. But let me know what you guys think of this ranking for the Leprechaun movies down below. Have you seen them? Have you not? What is your favorite? What's your least favorite Leprechaun movie? Do you think they're underrated? Do you think they're overrated? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're guilty pleasures? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's continue that road to 1K subscribers. Be sure to follow me on my social media links down below in the description box. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's continue the road to 1K subscribers. You guys keep it cool and join the epic-tastiness. Bye-bye now.